It's late. Not midnight, not early, just that strange in-between hour. You're lying there, phone in your hand, not texting them, not calling, just staring. You told yourself you were done. You said it out loud. You meant it. But something doesn't sit right. Because even after everything, even after the distance, the silence, the way they slowly became someone you couldn't reach, you still feel them. And the part that messes with you the most, you can't tell if they feel you too. Do they ever think about me? Was any of it real? How can someone just move on like that? Or are they just pretending? Here's the truth no one tells you. Avoidants don't forget you. They just learn how to live like they did. Not because you didn't matter, but because remembering feels like losing control. And listen, you're not crazy for feeling this. You're not stuck. You're not weak. You're someone who loved and felt something real. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why avoidants seem like they've erased you, what's actually happening beneath the surface, and what it really means for you moving forward. Let's get into it. Most people think avoidants don't care, that they detach because it meant nothing. But the real truth is, they detach because it meant too much. Most couples believe that when someone pulls away, it's because the connection faded. But the deeper truth is, when emotional intensity rises beyond what someone's nervous system can handle, they don't lean in. They protect themselves. And for avoidance, protection looks like distance. Here's the part no one explains. Their nervous system reads closeness as pressure, even when it's love. So when things get real, not surface level, not casual, but deeply real, something inside them says, "This is too much. I'm losing myself." And they don't talk about it. They don't process it out loud. They just go quiet. Not because they forgot you, but because feeling you fully would mean facing emotions they don't know how to regulate. So they shut the door. Not on you, on the intensity. And that's where everything starts to make sense. 1. They replace feeling with function. Most couples assume moving on looks like emotional closure. But for avoidance, moving on often looks like emotional avoidance dressed as productivity. They stay busy. They stay distracted. Because if they stop, they feel. And feeling, for them, isn't soft or comforting. It's overwhelming. Here's what's really happening beneath the surface. Their nervous system isn't built to sit in emotional depth for long periods. So instead of processing the loss, they compartmentalize it. They don't erase you. They store you. Example, disconnecting version. I'm fine. It is what it is. Connecting truth. I still feel this. I just don't know what to do with it. But they never say that second line. So you see someone who looks unaffected, but inside, there's unprocessed emotions sitting in silence. And when that happens, the story becomes they didn't care, when the reality is they didn't know how to feel safely. And when you understand that, the confusion starts to soften. 2. They numb instead of grieve. And this is where it gets really interesting. Most people think healing means talking it out, but avoidants often heal by turning the volume down. Not processing, not expressing, just numbing. Because grief requires presence, and presence feels like exposure. Their system says, "Don't go there. It's too much." So instead of crying, reflecting, or reaching out, they distract, detach, and move forward externally. Example: disconnecting version. They jump into work, new routines, even new people quickly. Connecting version. They sit with the loss, even if it's uncomfortable, and let it move through them. But avoidants don't trust that process. So what happens? The feelings don't disappear. They go underground, like pressure building behind a wall. And that's why months later, years even, something small can bring it all back. Because it was never gone, just buried. 3. They rewrite the story to regain control. Here's the part most couples never figure out. Avoidants don't just distance physically, they distance mentally. Because if they fully remember the connection, they risk reopening the emotional door. So they change the narrative, not in a manipulative way, in a protective way. Their mind starts saying things like, "It wasn't that deep. We weren't really compatible. It's better this way." Because believing that feels safer than admitting, "I actually lost something meaningful." Example: disconnecting version. It just didn't work. Connecting truth. It mattered, and losing it hurts more than I expected. But that second sentence requires vulnerability, and vulnerability feels like losing control. So they choose the version of reality that keeps them stable. And when they do that, it looks like they forgot. But really, they reframed. 4. They miss you in silence. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. This isn't about late-night texts or emotional confessions. It's subtle. A memory that hits out of nowhere. A place that feels different without you. A moment where something inside them says, "That used to feel better." But here's the thing, bro. They don't act on it. Because acting would mean reopening something they worked hard to close. So instead, the thought passes, and the feeling stays unspoken. Example: disconnecting version. They feel something and immediately distract themselves. Connecting version. They sit with it and allow it to mean something. But avoidants don't give feelings that space, so the longing never fully forms into action. And from the outside, it looks like nothing. But beneath the surface, it's not nothing. It's just quiet. 5. They protect distance like it's safety. This is where everything clicks. Not more communication, not more effort, not more explanations, but understanding what distance means to them. For most people, distance feels like disconnection. But for avoidance, distance feels like regulation. It's how they calm their nervous system. So when they pull away, it's not always rejection. It's self-protection. Example: disconnecting version. Why are you so distant? Do you even care? Connecting version. I can feel you pulling back. I just want to understand what you're needing right now. That second approach doesn't chase. It doesn't pressure. It creates space without abandoning connection. And when you do that, something shifts internally for them. Because their system quietly registers, "I'm not being pushed. I'm not being controlled. I'm safe." And that's when walls don't have to go up so fast. And here's what changes everything. This isn't about decoding them forever. It's not about waiting, hoping, or proving your worth. It's about understanding what was real without needing them to confirm it. Because you felt it. And that matters. This isn't a checklist. It's an identity shift. You're no longer someone chasing clarity. You're someone who understands patterns. You're no longer questioning your worth. You're recognizing emotional capacity. And that changes how you show up in every connection moving forward. Because when you see clearly, you stop taking distance personally, and you start choosing what actually feels like home. So remember this: they didn't forget you. They just chose the version of reality that felt safest to live in. And the moment you stop needing them to remember is the moment you finally come back to yourself.